guys, so I wanted to do a video on something that I feel like comes up a lot, first of all with my clients, but also just in general. Like, this is just information that people want, and that is like meal and snack ideas that are high in protein to help you meet your daily requirement of protein macros. It's very likely that if you're on prep, or if you've hired a coach to help you with your macros, or if you've just calculated them some way, somehow, if you lift, it's likely that your protein requirements are anywhere between like 100 grams to 160 grams a day, sometimes more. And that can be a lot without feeling like you're just continually shoving like dead animals in your mouth all day. Like, I know for myself, like that was the way that I ended up hating chicken. Like, I really don't like chicken anymore, because for my first like 2 years of lifting, that's like I ate chicken 4 times a day and I got so sick of it. So, you guys like sleeping kitten over there? Kitten! She's not excited about protein. So, because of this, over the years, I have come up with a ton of concoctions and a ton of go-to products that I keep around so that meeting my protein requirements is not difficult at all. In fact, sometimes it's hard to keep my protein down because of all the stuff I have around that I really like that is really high in protein and makes it really, really easy to get to my protein goal without like gnawing on chicken legs all day long. Okay, so first thing, if you're like me, when I first started lifting and like counting macros and stuff, I thought for sure that having pasta in my diet was like just completely never gonna happen again, because a serving of pasta, which is like this big on a plate, is like, I don't know, like 45 or 50 grams of carbs, which I want like 2 or 3 servings of pasta, and that means all my carbs for the day, or at least a good chunk of them are wiped out, which is just not worth it. Like, pasta's not really filling or whatever. So these are my 2 favorite pasta products that actually contain a ton of protein. The first one is Carba Nade noodles. See if I can get that. They are egg fettuccine noodles by a company called Dente. I forget where I first found these, but it was, I think sometime last year when I was prepping for the first show that I didn't do. But these are awesome. The macros for these are really, really, really good, if that's gonna show up. They're basically 1 gram of fat, 24 grams of carbs, 6 grams of fiber, and 12 grams of protein for 1 serving, which is a nice size. And because it's so much protein, it's a pasta that feels like it's actually filling. So I'll have 2 or 3 servings of this, and that means that I'm getting in 24 to 36 grams of protein from my pasta alone, not to mention if I cut up some sort of meat and add it to this, then protein galore. Then you don't even have to have a side like of meat or a protein shake with it or anything to feel like, I don't know. I love these. These taste really good. The texture is good. It doesn't seem like fake pasta at all. There's no reason to not eat these. I will always eat these, even when my carbs are high, because it just makes way more sense. They're half the carbs and they taste just as good. For those of you who are brave and really dedicated to getting in your protein, I do have 2, or actually 1 brand, but 2 types of, I don't even call them noodles. I guess they're technically noodles. I've talked about them before, but they're these organic black bean and organic edamame and mung bean shaped things. I don't know. I'll definitely say these are a little bit gritty, and I mean, you can see it's literally black noodles and green noodles. And if you're one of those people who like your food has to look appealing, or you're grossed out by it, I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. They taste like pasta made out of black bean, which is not a bad taste because I like black beans. But the macros for these are what's really the kicker. A serving of this is 2 grams of fat, 17 grams of carbs, that's it, 12 grams of fiber, and 25 grams of protein. Like, holy moly, 2 servings of this is 50 grams of protein. Usually I'll have these when I like have a ton of protein left for the day, like, I don't know, like 3 servings of this and you have 75 grams of protein. Like, you don't have to add anything to it but sauce, and you've got a whole freaking meal that's like really low carb. Like, even 3 servings of this would be less than 60 grams of carbs. And like I said, it's not like real pasta. These are about the same macros, by the way. It's not real pasta, but if you're like me and you just don't want to be eating a bunch of egg whites, this is worth it to me for sure. And I've gotten these at Whole Foods, and I've also gotten them at like specialty grocers. So you're not going to find it at like Walmart or any main name brand grocery store. These are also certified gluten-free, so for those of you who are celiac or have any issues like that, these are really, really nice. Another way that I get my protein in is a way that you guys have seen me utilizing a lot in my videos and on Instagram, which is protein waffles and pancakes. I usually do waffles because I have a waffle maker, and I love this company. It's Flapjacked protein pancake mix. They also have like a banana nut flavor, I think. They have an apple cinnamon flavor, which I haven't tried yet. But basically you just add water, and I think if you're making waffles you can add an egg. I usually just do egg whites and it turns out fine. And one serving of this, like a half cup, which makes usually like a waffle and a half for me, is 3.5 grams of fat, 23 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fiber, and 20 grams of protein. So like the carb and protein distribution is pretty equal on these, which I like. I used to use Flapjacked. No, this is Flapjacked. I used to use Kodiak cakes. That's what I'm thinking of. Kodiak cakes, but they have like, I think it's like 15 grams of protein and 30 grams of carbs. So it's double the carbs of the protein content, which is fine, but like you get so much bang for your protein buck when you have something like this, and these taste so good. I think they taste way better than the Kodiak cakes. So again, I've only found these at specialty grocery stores. For me, I find them at Kroger, which I don't know if you're in like the Midwest, you might have those. I've also seen these at like, I want to say like Better Health and like Vitamin Shop and stuff like that. I'm not sure. They're not that hard to come by. I know you can just order them online somehow. So yeah, another fantastic way to get in your protein without taking too much of your carbs. Another breakfast favorite for getting in a ton of protein that isn't just egg whites, I will make French toast out of normal, just whole wheat bread. I usually get the 35 calorie whole grain bread from, is that Aunt Millie's? Just because it's like 9 grams of carbs a serving. To me, bread is bread. I know that's not true. I know that there's better bread than other bread, but I'd rather not waste a bunch of carbs on like one slice of bread. So this stuff cooks up fine. I will take bread. I'll take between like 4 and 6 slices of bread depending on how many grams of carbs I have to spare. And I will mix egg whites in a bowl. This is just the Kroger brand egg whites that I really like. 3 tablespoons is 0 fat, 0 carbs, 5 grams of protein. So I'll mix like anywhere between 5 to 7 servings of this, so that's 25 to 35 grams of protein, and I will mix it with a little bit of cinnamon, sometimes a little bit of stevia, and maple extract I found somewhere. I'll mix those 3 together, and I will dip the bread into that and throw it on the griddle, and you have French toast. I'm not saying it's like IHOP French toast, but it's definitely French toast, and I always top it with Walden Farms pancake syrup. At any given time, I have like 6 jars of this in my house. It freaks out my family and my friends when they come over and they see that I have so many jars of this, but I love it. It's 0 calorie. It tastes just fine. And again, most of this stuff that I'm mentioning is not going to be at Walmart. It's going to be more at like specialty stores, specialty grocery stores, or you can just order online if you live like in the middle of nowhere and you can't get to a specialty grocery store. But I love these. I love these specialty type items. So yeah. A high protein snack that I like is non-fat plain Greek yogurt. This is the lowest carb Greek yogurt that you can get. For a cup of it, which is a big serving size, is half a gram of fat, 10 grams of carbs, and 24 grams of protein. It's a lot. And I will take this and I will usually mix it with something like this, a Jell-O flavor packet, but it's always sugar-free. The sugar-free ones are like a fourth of this package, which is more than enough to like flavor anything, is only, it's 0 fat, 6 carbs, and 0 protein. So this with like a fourth of a package of this mixed together with like a little bit of almond milk, maybe some stevia to sweeten it a little bit more, is going to be like cheesecake flavored Greek yogurt that only has like, what, 16 grams of carbs total and 24 grams of protein. That's an awesome snack. Sometimes if I have the carbs for it, I'll even throw in like fruit or granola, cereal, things like that. Super yummy. It's basically what you can buy in stores, like in little packages, but I've always found that little packages of like, I think I have some. Can you see my Ninja Turtle PJs? We're business up top. Business up top. Yeah, I've got one of the Chobani Coffee Break Bliss. It's low-fat Greek yogurt with biscotti pieces and chocolate that like you can throw in there. I'm really close to the camera, I'm sorry. But for this teeny tiny thing, it's like, what is it? 25 grams of carbs for this teeny tiny thing. Or you can get like a whole cup of Greek yogurt and put your own stuff on top. So that's what I like, and it's way higher protein. So yeah. Another protein snack that I think people just forget about sometimes is string cheese. If you get like the low fat ones, I think they're usually like 2.5 grams of fat and like 7 or 8 grams of protein, sometimes 9 grams of protein, which is just a nice snack to throw into your day. It's no carbs, obviously. A nice little way to like boost up your protein. If you have like one in the morning with a snack and then like one in the afternoon with a snack, that's gonna be, you know, 15 to 20 grams of protein just in your snacks. Or, you know, you add it to a piece of fruit or something as like a whole like bigger snack, but without, I always tell my clients, don't let a snack or a meal go by without having at least 10 or 15 grams of protein in it. And if it's a meal, it should be at least 25 grams of protein, just to make sure you don't get to the end of your day and you have 0 fat left, 0 carbs left, and 67 grams of protein left, because I've been there and it is not fun to drink 3 cups of egg whites. You do what you gotta do. Last thing I'm gonna mention, there's a million things I could mention, but the last thing I'm gonna mention is something I've mentioned a million times before. Muscle milk! Yes, these might bloat you. Yes, they have weird chemicals in them that I am not sure what they do to you. But is it 32 grams of protein that you can take to go? Yeah. I used to be a full-time real estate agent, and so I was always on the go, always in the car, and so I would, you know, I had food in the fridge at work, but I was always just like coming and going and coming and going, and so that's when I discovered these little protein shakes, because it's just, oh, I hate eating like cold chicken in the car or like cold any sorts of protein like in the car on the go. I'd rather just like drink the protein, and this is so easy, especially like if you're not really hungry at the end of the night and you've got some protein left to fill. This is a nice way to kind of get it down that actually tastes really good without feeling like you're choking down egg whites. Yes, we've all been there, but yeah, I really, really like these a lot. Macros are 2.5 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbs, and 32 grams of protein. Like I said, can't really beat it. They have this in a million flavors. They also have it in a version that is 40 grams of protein. I've talked about those before. Those are really, really nice if you are majorly behind on your macros for the day and you're on the go. But yeah, I really like them. I try not to have them too much because I have heard that the chemicals in them are not the best. I don't even want to say chemicals. There's just like the longest list of ingredients ever. And when something's that long, I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't have this 3 times a day. That's everything that I'm going to mention right now. Those are my favorite ways to get protein in. Some breakfast ideas, some lunch and dinner ideas, snacks, all of that jazz. So if you are one of my clients, I don't want to hear any excuses about how you can't get your protein in. As always, guys, thanks for watching. And for those of you who are going to ask, my sports bra is from Forever 21. So now I know if you watch this whole video or not before asking where my sports bra is from. Gotcha. Forever 21.